Khabib, and Anderson Silva, I think would be my 4. I hope I'm not forgetting anybody obvious, but off the top of my head, that would be my Mount Rushmore.
Fair enough. Does Conor McGregor or Ronda Rousey have anything kind of thing? Do they have any consideration?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what Ronda Rousey did was unbelievable at the time. I think people forget because of those 2 losses that she ended her career on and how she handled those losses. I think people forget just how good she was and what she was doing to everybody. She was must-watch TV. And I mean, I think Conor really helped put the UFC on the map. I think in terms of what he did for the sport, you certainly would consider putting him on Mount Rushmore. And not to mention the way that he beat Jose Aldo. People forget that at the time, Jose Aldo was considered among the top pound-for-pound guys in the sport. And he beat him in 13 seconds, right? So, yeah, I mean, I think that if you were going to take anybody that I mentioned off, it would probably be Anderson Silva, maybe Khabib. I don't think Khabib has the greatest resume. I just think that the way that he beat people was so dominant, and that undefeated record is very difficult to retire with. My 2 people I would have to have on there are John Jones and GSP, and then everything else is kind of gravy. I think that you can make a short list of 4 or 5 people after them that you could put on.
Yeah, I totally agree with that because those are pretty.
Even Chuck Liddell you could mention. I think Chuck Liddell, if you're going to talk about Conor, talk about Chuck Liddell as well, former champion, a guy that really put the UFC on the map as well.
That's also true. Going for the next thing, talking about, because I'm thinking about one guy. I always like watching Donald Cerrone fights. He's unfortunately been on kind of a losing streak. Do you still see him being in the UFC, or do you think he'll go to belt or one? What do you think's next for the Cowboy?
I think he'll do one more fight in the UFC, and they'll go back to the drawing board after that. I think if he loses, he'll be done with the UFC. And the UFC will probably release him. He seems like he's been a really good company guy for all these years, and that's something that the UFC would do. But I think that's what we have to see. Let's see how he looks in his next fight. I think Dana White has come out and said he's going to give Cowboy one more fight at 155 pounds, and we'll see how he looks.
But you did a lot. You interviewed everybody from Dana White to GSP to Cormier, etc. Do you have a favorite interview out of all of them? It's I know it's not picking your favorite kid, but
favorite interview subject?
Yeah, favorite. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, Dana White for sure. It's not a hard question for me to answer. When I'm interviewing Dana, I always try to rise to the occasion. It's I find this to be a real challenge. You have to really know the nuances of interviewing him and trying to get the best out of him on any given day. He's the person that I always will enjoy interviewing the most. I don't even have another answer for you. That's how much I enjoy interviewing him.
Is there anything else you'd like to add or like to plug in for our viewers from the RP show to know about?
Check out the TSN MMA show. It's our podcast for MMA at TSN. And all of our interviews are on tsn.ca/UFC. Ultimate Fighters airing on TSN. All the events air on TSN. So if you're listening to this and you've made it to the end of this interview, you probably know all this stuff. But either way, I'll give it a plug. I appreciate you having me on, Alan. Thank you so much for thinking of me, and I'd be happy to do it again whenever.
Oh, that sounds great, man. Thanks again for doing this interview. It's been quite a pleasure, man. I would like to thank my interview for today, Aaron Broadcenter, for having a great interview. Now it's time for the main event. It is the Rod Pedersen Show. So this is Alan the Intern signing off. Enjoy the show, y'all.
These guys coming up, Stanley Cup champion Brent Sopel of the Chicago Blackhawks, longtime friend of ours, Saskatoon kid Brent Sopel will be joining us from, I'm sure, Clearwater, Florida. Can we check on that, Clark, where he's going to be? Or maybe you know. That's where he's hanging his hat these days. Courtney Stephen is one of the many CFLers that has announced his retirement over the last little while. Hamilton Ticats great Courtney Stephen's going to be joining us from the GTA to talk about his career, his decision, life after football, and maybe a bit on this CFL season, which he won't be a part of. And the television voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning, Dave Randorf, will be joining us later on, coming up in hour 2. So that's a big guest list. Before we get to the quick 6 show topics, we have this tiny little monitor working here, so I'm hoping I can see this. I said to Darren, the big-time mucky-muck network TV shows have everything scripted down to the second, right? We do not. So what did I say, no. Clark? We're going to do the Great Western photo album first, and then we'll do the breaking news that we have? Does that work for you, Moose? Right. And a T-shirt that we have on sale. Okay, so we've got a lot of things to get to today on this Monday. So we are. Okay, let's go with the Great Western Brewing Company summer photo album. This was my weekend.
Ooh.
Some of it. This was Saturday night at the Kings Park Motor Speedway. I was out there with Dumbalicious, and we just had a big old time. You know how much I love that, right?
Oh, yeah.
In Canadian terms, it was like 29 degrees and sunny. American terms, high 80s. What else did I do this weekend? What else you got? That was Big Bird in front of the legislature. Dumbalicious and I went for a walk around the lake on Saturday. That's 2 provincial icons right there.
I love that. And you got good reaction on it, too, on social.
My Jeep and the provincial legislature, 2 iconic Saskatchewan images. That was my nephew's flag football game. Nice. On Saturday, and I did a 360 on my Instagram story. If you saw that, I'm like, how can thousands of kids gather to play flag football, but the CFL can't get together for the Riders and the Bombers? Please tell me. But that's neither here nor there. Those are my 3 from the Great Western Brewing Company photo album. What do you got, Moose? Did you put some photos on?
I did not.
But Amanda apparently has.
Amanda did. This is a video.
Okay.
So she was doing the summer thing. That was cool. That looks like Great Western beer. We'll just call it that. And
right.
Away we go. No,
and Bob's your uncle.
As you know, I spent, and I didn't get any photos of it, I spent my weekend in front of the computer and on the phone.
And on the lake.
And on the lake. I did.
Kayaking.
Yeah, I didn't send it this morning to Clark, but I went on the lake. And that's my happy place where I calm, clear my mind.
Oh.
And
I was looking forward to seeing a photo of that.
And I put one up. I went on, actually, in the evening. I did a midnight paddle right out in front of the ledge. So maybe, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to get that to Clark, and we'll maybe post that photo later.
So this is the RP Show Summer Photo Album presented by Great Western Brewing Company. And we ask you to please share with us how you're enjoying the summer and get a chance to be featured on the program every Monday morning using the hashtags RP Show or GW Beer Summer. Great Western Lager is the new great tasting beer to enjoy this summer. Locally made. Get your Great Western Lager at a store near you. This is the warm-up, by the way, for Ecole Electric. We'll get to our quick 6, so just hang on, Jordan. We do have breaking news today, and you're the guy that's behind this. This goes back to Friday. You did the details all this weekend, and now we have news to announce for this show this week. Over to you, Moose.
Yeah, the big news this week is that we're going to Montreal.
Ta-da! How about that?
This might even be news for some guys around here because we've been so busy this morning that we didn't even get to really sit down and tell everybody. I know Clark is aware and Paul and all that, but we are taking our show on the road. And so we're
to the Stanley Cup Final.
To the Stanley Cup Final. So we're going to leave Wednesday, and we're going to do a couple of special little shows in Montreal. Not little shows in Montreal, but Thursday and Friday we'll be on the air from the Stanley Cup Finals. How cool is that?
I'm excited. And Game Plus is behind that, I understand.
That's right.
So thanks to the guys down in Toronto as we get ready to go to the Stanley Cup Final. Not the first time that I've been at the Stanley Cup Final, but the first time that I've been on air. That's pretty exciting.
It's going to be so cool.
Let's jump into the quick 6 show topics, please, Director Jordan. We'll take care of the rest of the business later. Cool? But yes, live Thursday, Friday from Montreal, downtown Montreal, in advance of Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final. We will be there live. Number 1. Oh, how about that? Game 1 tonight, Stanley Cup Final. Montreal at Tampa Bay, 6 p.m. Mountain face-off. Let's get it rolling with our predictions for the series. And I don't just mean ours here in the bunker, but yours out there in TV land. You can tweet us. You can write in. Who's going to win and how many games? And it was a very easy poll question that I came up with this morning as I was sitting in the steam room. How many games will this final go? How many games? 4 games, 5 games, 6 or 7. Last I saw for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center, it was a runaway. 6 games, 57% saying on Twitter. And I'm saying Montreal in 6. That's my prediction. What's yours?
7. It's going 7. Montreal in 7.
Wow.
First of all, we're on the Habs bandwagon now. I am. And I tweeted, my dad's a Montreal fan. He tried forever to get me. I even got this Montreal Canadiens shirt with a 4 on the back for my 4th birthday. Mm-hmm. But I became a Leafs fan. So I said, 34 years later, Dad, I'm finally a Habs fan for 10 days anyways. But you know what? I think Tampa's going to get out to a quick start, just like Vegas, just like Toronto did. But Montreal's going to come back. The longer the series goes, 7 games.
That's a real team of destiny Cinderella thing there. I got Montreal in 6. Moose has Montreal in 7. Again, I'd like to know what you folks think. You people that are following the Stanley Cup Final. Sean in Vancouver. Happy Monday, guys, from scorching Vancouver. Have fun in Montreal, guys. Habs in 6. Trenton, Norway, where it's currently 6:07 p.m. Norway calling. I predict a 7-game series with the Canadiens winning it. Defense wins championships, and I also predict they will get enough goals so Carey Price can hold the fort. Great to hear the show is going on the road for the Stanley Cup Final. Stay safe, everyone. We'll be talking more about this series later on with Brent Sopel and Dave Randorf, so let's move on. Point 2.
Sorry.
What do you got?
Bob just checked in.
Bob Marrier, what's he saying, Bobby? Your boys will be welcome in Montreal. Merci, my friend. Bob Marrier is anointed himself the producer for those 2 days, and I'm cool with that.
I know.
Bobby, he's already got Chris Knuckles' nylon lineup. He's working on it. Bob Marrier, the sober coach to the stars. I can't wait to get out there and see you, Bobby. It's just going to be fantastic. So, to point 2, Vladdy way out in front of All-Star voting. Can you believe it? Which shouldn't surprise anybody. Leading the majors in home runs, leading the majors in RBIs. He's got a 200,000 vote lead. Who's number 2, Clark? Did you see? Acuna. Ronald Acuna.
Oh, yeah.
So who the hell's he?
He's pretty good.
So, well, yeah, but Vladdy, man, they smoked Baltimore yesterday. They are the slump busters, the Orioles, that hopefully the Blue Jays don't look back. But we're rolling towards the Midsummer Classic, and Vladdy is way out in front, and apparently all of North America, or maybe even the world's noticing. Who votes on this? The whole world?
Oh, yeah. You can vote. I can vote.
Apparently we don't need to.
No, don't need to.
So CFL training camps are to open July 2nd as I move to July 10th as I move to point 3 here. And there's a couple notes. I've just been doing a little reading this weekend, and our good friend Ed Tate from the Winnipeg Blue Bombers website, Hall of Fame writer there in Winnipeg. Guess, Moose, how many games Zach Collaros has started in a Winnipeg Blue Bomber uniform? And I'll wait. Just guess.
I know. Like less than 30.
4!
What?
4 games.
I just hit puberty with my voice.
I know. I think everybody did.
that?
So I was reading Ed's column on the Winnipeg Blue Bomber website, 1st and 10, and he's saying Zach Collaros has only started 4 games. I'm like, but he's been there 2 years.
I just took one on the chin.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
No, but like
you like that.
I'm just like.
So there's going to be a lot of that. We need a lot of CFL discussion on this program to get people acclimated to what's going to come down the pipe here with the Canadian Football League. Yes, Zach Collaros is going to be in training camp with the Blue Bombers, their number 1 quarterback. Buck Pierce is their offensive coordinator. And just one small storyline in an ocean of storylines in the Canadian Football League. And furthermore, another one, did you see the betting favorite right now to be the most outstanding player in the Canadian Football League in 2021 is my guy, Cody Fajardo. And isn't it funny that just randomly came up on Friday? Who do you think will be the most outstanding player?
I know.
And I said Cody. You said Trevor Harris. And the odds makers are going with Cody Fajardo. So how about that?
That's pretty good. Pretty good. I mean,
I just love that guy.
You know, if he continues to elevate and grow, he's going to have a really special season. So it's going to be fun to watch.
Everybody checking in here. From Michael Willoughby, Collaros beat Calgary twice, Saskatchewan, and Hamilton as starter for Winnipeg. Oh, I know. Nelson Hakowicz, our VP of Sim Events, says he started the last game of the season, the semifinal, final, and Grey Cup. That's what I'm saying. But for $1 million, I would have said he started more games than 4. 30 might be a bit of a stretch, but
well, I'm trying to think of, okay,
30.
they play 18 games a season. And I'm like, okay, but he probably didn't play every game, but a couple of seasons would be, a lot of games.
Dylan Spicer watching out in Nova Scotia. He says, Montreal in 6 for me. Price is locked in, but Tampa Bay's good. Oh, it's going to be a hell of a series. An absolutely amazing series. Chris Bird in Toronto says, hearing rumors that Dane Evans could be on the move. Oh, are we going to jump into that pool now of the gossip? Yeah. Why the hell not? It's always fun.
Why not?
I don't know. The Twitter account CFL News picked up my weekend column where I said the COVID restrictions being placed on the CFL are ridiculously excessive, and Dane Evans liked that, along with a host of CFL players. It feels ridiculous to me, which is actually a great segue into point 4. How do you feel about CFL player isolation? Because from what we understand, the more and more we hear, players, some staff are going to be housebound for 6 months. I guess if you're not fully vaccinated, that's what it is, isn't it? Or even if you are.
No, if you are. And in the NFL, there's different rules for players who are vaccinated versus non-vaccinated. And, we've seen Cole Beasley come out and be like, hey, he's very anti-vaccination, right? And he's been really public about it. He's going to live it by a different set of rules than the players who are vaccinated. In the CFL, they're all clumped together. But now you've got players like Vernon Adams. I believe Vernon Adams came out and said it, but there was others that they want different rules. So for those that have gotten both vaccinations, that are promoting vaccinations, they want to be able to have a little more freedom, and I don't blame them.
Well, everybody's got an opinion.
That's right.
Similar to belly buttons, right? And a lot stink. So I guess I got a call yesterday, and it was a guy we were just talking about people being housebound for 6 months. And the guy said on the other end of the line to me, but I guess the fans don't care. I'm like, I don't think they care. So is it worth it? Those junior hockey players that were in the bubble here and staff, when they came out of it, the games that we called on television, they were like, we're not doing this again. If we have to play in a bubble in the spring or in the fall, we're not playing. So for the CFL, how badly do they want to play? What's the risk reward? Is it worth it for the money? I don't know. Anyways, this quick 6 show topics here, as you know, are the 6 topics of importance to me. Maybe not in the world, but to me, in order of appearance. And it's brought to you by Ecold Electric, your complete electrical distributor with locations in Regina, Estevan, Swift Current, Yorkton, and Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. Ecold Electric. Let's get to work. Right after coffee. I had 2 last points, Darren, which will blow your socks off because they're not what you'd think.
Okay.
Number 5, the Canadian Elite Basketball League tipped off this weekend. Were you paying attention?
I was.
Oh, were you?
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's like, boom. It's like stepping across the freeway. Zing, away we go because the Saskatchewan Rattlers lost at Fraser Valley on Saturday afternoon late. I watched that one on CBC Gem. Wasn't a bad game. They're going to want tighter games moving forward. The whole league, I think.
Yeah.
From what we've seen. But they're home tonight. Saskatoon.
Okay.
I'm just saying it's not one game a week type thing.
Moving quick.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And there will be more on this coming up in the sports update. But we're covering the CEBL. And people say to us across this country, how come you're the only TV channel that covers the CBL? Well, we're not the only one because CBC does too, but I get what you're saying. But I enjoy the basketball. It's very entertaining. These guys deserve the coverage. And so they're playing tonight in Saskatoon. No fans, Darren. Did you know that? Were you what?
Yeah.
You must know that.
Yeah.
But then July 12th, they're saying they're welcoming fans into SaskTel Center. So they're rolling. I'm just trying to tell you that they're rolling. And then point 6 is the Canadian Premier League tipped off, or what? Kicks off? I don't know. What do they call it? Kicked off?
Yeah, kicked off.
In Winnipeg last night with a doubleheader in a bubble. And what's cool, I didn't see any video of this, but I read it online this morning, that fans that couldn't get in, because they can't get in, they stood outside the stadium with their flags, and which is kind of neat.
That's awesome. That's really awesome.
Yeah, for Winnipeg Valor Football Club, FC. So, and I didn't put it in my quick 6, but Denmark mopped the floor with Wales in Euro 2020 on the weekend. Like it was an ass kicking, a shabackling.
Is it 4 or 5-0?
4-0.
Yeah.
That's like 79-0 in hockey.
Yes. No, it is.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, I saw that. I'm like, whoa, is Denmark this soccer powerhouse that I didn't know about?
Absolutely we are.
Clearly.
I'm into it now because I got a team, my country. By the way, the rock star of the day on Friday was split. It was a tie. Wally Buono and Jake Plummer. What a fantastic football Friday that was a couple days ago. Jake Plummer, Wally Buono finished in a tie, so they'll both be getting T-shirts or hats, their choice, from the Rod Pedersen Show. And again, as we go off the air on this Monday morning or afternoon, wherever you're sitting, as we go to break, we are going to Montreal. Game Plus TV sending us to Montreal for live shows Thursday, Friday in advance of Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final, Montreal-Tampa. And when we come back, Stanley Cup champion Brent Sopel of the Chicago Blackhawks will join us to talk about it. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV Network, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Ultimate Fan Zone. Shop online. UltimateFanZone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel, offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away. UltimateFanZone.ca or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFC Downtown Moose Jaw. Home of everything authentic.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Capital is Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out CapitalFordLincoln.com to see how we roll and to learn about what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's what you get when you choose Capital Ford Lincoln, Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
It's a really big day here in the RP Show. We announced that we are going to Montreal, broadcasting live Thursday, Friday from downtown Montreal in advance of Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final. On the Prairie Mobile text line, Kevin writes in from KSJ Sports. He says, hey, Rod, nobody deserves that opportunity to broadcast from the Stanley Cup Final more than you and your crew. So happy for you guys. Signed, Ticats fan Kevin. He's the guy that lined it all up, and a huge thank you to Game Plus. It's going to be great shows from downtown Montreal with greats from the Blue Blanc Rouge. And before we bring in Brent Sopel, the Stanley Cup champion and the veteran of 659 NHL games. Moose, why don't you say it with the shirt? Come on.
Okay.
Show your pride. Show your pride, Canada.
We've got the shirts. They're available
right now.
Don't worry about the grammar. It's more about having fun and the play.
Fine.
The play on words.
We the North.
We the North. So they're available. RodPedersenShop.com. And I couldn't believe there was no trademark on this. I couldn't believe it. I looked it up. No trademark.
Well, maybe you should trademark it. So,
I put it
yeah, we sold out of the Vegas shirts. Now we're on the Montreal bandwagon. So, actually, Somebody wrote in here and said, "Is anybody cheering for Tampa Bay?" Maybe Brent Sopel is. Let's bring him in from Clearwater, Florida. We just butted him up here. The Saskatoon kid, Stanley Cup champion. How you doing, Sopes?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Well, you played in Montreal. You're alum for Montreal. Do you have a rooting interest in this series that begins tonight?
Yeah, it's definitely rooting for Tampa Bay, so I'll just throw that out early. I've got Brent. It's 20 minutes down. The rink's 20 minutes away from my house, but there's a couple guys I knew. Obviously Luke Shen for the Saskatchewan boy, but Andrew Vasilevsky was my goalie back in Russia when I played in the KHL. So he taught me some Russian. I taught him some English. So I want to see my guys do well. Canadian fans, you can be pissed off at me all you want, but I'm rooting for my boys.
Of course, it wouldn't be you if you weren't honest. So you're cheering for Tampa, but what do you think is going to happen in this series? Because I've said Montreal in 6.
Ooh, that's interesting. Obviously everybody's counting out Montreal every series up to this point in time, but there's a reason why you play. You play the games, and the injury situation is what's going to be key to this. All the stars got aligned perfectly to win the Stanley Cup, and injuries is one of them. How healthy is Kucherov? Obviously, Game 7, he wasn't very good. That's a key component on that power play. You take him off, they're definitely not as lethal as they are. I think they're running at 39%. That's a big component right now. Is Tampa.
Wow, interesting that you say that. And you know what? We'll break down this series a little more in a minute, but I think so much of your time with Chicago and the photos of you lifting the cup were iconic. And that was so special, Sopes, as you know, because 2010, the drought had stretched back to 1961. Dare I say, sorry to Blackhawks fans, that's more special than the two that followed after that. What was it like being part of that?
Well, obviously I won the Stanley Cup a million times on the outdoor rink, so to be one of the kids that actually takes that and has that to say that my name is on there, it's pretty special. There's a lot of guys in the Hall of Fame that never got to win it, and but I'm able to do a lot of things with my foundation because of it. But the other two Stanley Cups didn't matter. 2010 was the most important one.
Yeah, well. And I remember because there were guys from here. Eddie Litzenberger was on that last team in 1961. I don't know if you got to know those guys being around Chicago. I'm sure Eddie's was in a seniors home at the time, but the stories were wild. That drought, Bobby Hull, Stan Mikita, you guys joined that lore. So what was it like breaking the curse?
Well, it was pretty crazy. Obviously, 49 years. The city was going crazy. I had so many people that say to me, "I never thought I'd ever see this in my lifetime." So, to be able to see a grown man crying, or a lot of older men with their parents, their dads, so when you see those kind of smiles on their face, that's what it's all about. The whole city just erupted. I think what they say, 2 or 3 million people were there for the parade. So, pretty special that I could say I was a part of that team.
Yeah, I'm looking at your hockey DB here. After that, they just blew up the team. Maybe Stan Bowman was ahead of his time, right? You went to Atlanta. I think Buff went to Atlanta. At that time, what was it like? Brower left, I think. What was it like to win and then get out of Dodge?
Well, obviously, you win a Stanley Cup, you don't want to go anywhere. And the team that we had was unbelievable. But Stan went and did some decent contracts, and they went some extensions, and they had to. I think there was 10 of us that ended up leaving. So I think we won the Stanley Cup, and 2 weeks later, 10 of us got traded. So it is what it is. It's a business. They don't care about you. It's how you're gonna make the money and how you get those teams better. And I was at the back end of my career, so off to Atlanta, Montreal, then off to Russia.
And by the way, if you don't mind, some viewers have questions for you, Sopes. For instance, John in Winnipeg, John Ohm. Brent, what was it like to play in the KHL? Any crazy stories, my dude?
How much time do you have? But you know what?
Go
it was.
ahead.
I loved it. They treated me well, but I could say I was in out of 10 countries, a lot Eastern Europe, Russia, Sweden, Switzerland, Kazakhstan, places I would have never went. So it continued my career. It allowed me to get to 1,000 games, but be able to tour, across all those countries and places I never would have been. And like I said, it was learning new cultures, Spent a lot of time in there, trying to figure out these languages and airports, but I loved it.
I was just going to say, it sounds like you loved it, but in the hockey world, it kind of gets a bad rap, right? Is that on before you went? I mean, playing hockey, the KHL in Russia. Why did it have a bad rap?
You pre KHL. Now it's called Continental Hockey League. It's got a salary cap. It's Russia's got a lot of money, so guys are paid by brown paper bags. But it's the second best league by far in the world. There's guys. I chased Panarin around for days and hours trying to catch him. I could never catch him. And Tarasenko and Kovalchuk. So you have some amazing players that are over there, but they start to run it like the NHL with a lot of the same rules and salary caps. So it's allowing them to mid-transition into the NHL players for some of the younger Russians.
I was just going to say that. Is that why these guys want to come to America? Is simply the money? That's the biggest difference?
No, it's actually the Russians make more money staying in Russia. So it's to come and play in the best league in the world. They're obviously hockey's the biggest sport in Russia, and when those guys come over here, they want to play in the NHL. They want to be the best, and that's why. It's definitely not the money situation with the tax brackets and a lot of the teams, a lot of states. They don't have that kind of stuff in Russia.
Right. So back to this series that begins tonight. Tampa Bay, Montreal. Let's just examine some fun things here, Soaps. You're going to have 3,500 in Montreal, at least it seems that way, but a sold-out barn in Tampa. Is that a factor, do you think?
It's first off, it's sad.
Yeah.
Stanley Cup Finals, just open the doors. You may not have it again, and then when was the last time you had a game there? It's sad. Is it a factor? Absolutely. Tampa has only been playing within, full house. Here in Florida, we've been open. So it's been a different story for us. So going back into Montreal for game 3 and 4, not hearing anything, it's definitely going to be a big change.
Goaltending. You said Vasilevsky was your goaltender in Russia. We all know, I guess Carey Price was your goalie in Montreal for those 12 games. He must have been, right? So you played with both guys. Would you give the edge to either one?
Yeah, definitely Vasilevsky. Carey Price is, it's a 1A, 1B. They're probably the top 2 best goaltenders in the world. And obviously I'll go with a little bit of youth with Vasilevsky, a little bit longer legs. But again, Carey Price has been on top of the game. The only reason Montreal Canadiens are on the map the last 10 years is because of him. And obviously I think he has a save percentage at .950 right now on the PK. So he's been lights out. I'm going to just call that one a wash. It's too close to flip between those two guys.
It really is. And I'm a Golden Knights fan, Brent, but the Flower made that gaffe.
Fire your GM. Terrible GM.
Stop it. But they will not make Vasilevsky or Price won't make a gaffe like the Flower did at the end of game 3. And I love the Flower. They just won't. But you were a rugged Stanley Cup winning defenseman. Montreal's been doing this with 4D for the most part to get this far. Can they do that against Tampa Bay?
Yeah, you know what? They've got this point, right? Take a look at teams that they've gone through. Tampa's going to show them something different that they haven't seen before. Braden Point with his speed, with the skill set. Again, but it's going to be the health. If Kucherov isn't on the top of his game, it changes completely. So it's tough to ride 4D men the way they are, but this has been the best time, so I don't see any reason why not.
Well, it's going to be a fantastic series either way, but let the record show Brent Sopel says Tampa Bay will win. And how many games did you say?
I was 6.
6 games? Okay. And I got Montreal in 6. Hey, just some fun things before we let you go. How are things in the world of Brent Sopel? Are you obviously not coming home anytime soon? We still got a quarantine here going on, but how's the family and what's up? What's up in your world?
Yeah, no, everything's great. It's been plus 30 and shoveling sunshine for 6-7 months here, so can't complain. Working on the business foundation, so I got no complaints. Everything's really good.
Good to hear, buddy. Well, it's always good to chat with you. I appreciate the visit. Enjoy the hockey and keep in touch, Brent.
Yeah, thanks, Sam.
Our good friend Brent Sopel joining us from Clearwater, Florida, the former Saskatoon Blade and Swift Current Bronco. Darren, you wouldn't remember when he got traded from Saskatoon.
Not for that.
That was a big day. That was a blockbuster when Sopel went, and Ian Gordon and all these guys.
I believe it.
Anyway, Saskatoon kid and just an all-world human being. Brent Sopel joining us, and he's got. Should we start writing this down? He's got Tampa Bay in 6.
We did it for the Super Bowl.
Might as well, right?
Oh, yeah.
All week long, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Or all day long, because...
Starts tonight.
It starts tonight. Yeah, Montreal in 6 for RP. BS, Tampa in 6, Brent Sopel.
Randorf's going to have Tampa.
DD, you have Montreal in 7.
Yeah.
Clark, what are you saying? Tampa Bay in 6. Clark is trying to figure out who he's cheering for. He was cheering for Montreal against Vegas, but now you hate Montreal, right? Yeah, so...
Oh, I got him a shirt and everything.
Yeah. You got him a shirt. Yeah, one of these. Yeah.
Okay.
We will come back with a sports update. Some of these questions came in a little too late, and I apologize to the viewers. You didn't get in time to fire your questions at Brent Sopel. We'll do it next time. Again, the news of the day pertains to this show. We're going to Montreal for games 3 and 4, the Stanley Cup Final. Live shows Thursday, Friday here on Game Plus TV Network. And, of course, you can always catch it on YouTube and Facebook Live daily and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
In today's fast-paced world, we know you don't always have time to cook a nutritious meal. The Mad Greek in Moose Jaw's got you covered with delicious takeout and delivery specials, even for large groups or occasions. Authentic Greek cuisine, pizza, ribs, and more. There's something for everyone to enjoy. Offering licensed dining, delivery, and their takeout window is open to get your Greek to go. For more information and to view the online menu, visit themadgreekeatery.com.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. BDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. Monday morning continues. Afternoon for those in the eastern part of the world. Checking the Prairie Mobile text line before I get into a sports update here. I guess I shouldn't say good afternoon or good morning, Darren, because all these texts are from eastern part of the continent.
Yeah, say good afternoon. Oh, yeah.
Say good afternoon. From Ray in the 6. Hi, Rod. So glad that you and the crew are getting the road trip we all desire. Hit the Barbie barn. Go Habs, signed Ray, and he's watching in the Kitchener area of Southern Ontario. So, the first time I heard about the Barbie barn,
I don't know what that is.
Sounds
And
dirty.
I've been twice.
You've been there?
To Montreal. No, to Montreal.
Oh. I thought it was a gentleman's club.
Okay.
Think about it. The Barbie barn. It's full of Barbies.
Yeah.
No. It's a barbecue joint. It's amazing.
That was my first thought.
And it's like dedicated to the Habs. I think there's some Alouette stuff in there too, but our good friend Doug Wickenheiser, number 1 overall pick from the Canadiens. There's a signed photo of Wick on the wall. You want to hit up the Barbie barn?
Yeah, different places that we're going to go, right? I mean, could probably rent a car so we can do all these things, but like got to go for bagels, smoked meat. Those are obviously check marks, easy. Somebody suggested to me, and I couldn't believe it. Find the Johnny Manziel Club, with the cell phone.
We can't afford to get in there,
and that's my thought. I'm like, that's probably the last place we're going.
Do people know about that?
Somebody suggested it to me.
I thought we just knew.
I got a DM.
Urban legend is that Johnny Manziel had a bar in Montreal that he went to that cell phones and cameras aren't allowed, and that was his thing. Urban legend, okay? Pretty sure I know what I'm talking about. But Amanda Ruler writes in, the overall badass?
Oh, yeah.
And she says, hey, team. Amanda, thanks for sending us your video of the weekend for our Great Western Beer photo album, Great Western Lager. Nelson, our VP of Sim Events, says, will you visit the namesake for your first show? If I remember the story right, that's where that came from. Yeah, we can say it. The Sports Cage, the show that I started, made it great, comes from the sports bar chain. The most popular one's in the Bell Center, but the Cajo Sports Cage. That's where I got the name from. Okay, nothing's original in this world.
You're going to want to be following us on Instagram, Twitter, you name it, and personally too, because all of our social stories will be there. Where we're staying is right next to the Bell Center, and right next to where all those 25,000. We'll probably watch that from a distance. You're not going to see me behind the wheel of the cop car getting flipped or anything like that. But
the Chateau Champlain.
That's the one.
Craig Campbell writing in, and who knows where Craig's at. He's probably at home from the Hockey Hall of Fame. Saw you, Craig. Great job the other night presenting the trophy to the Tampa Bay Lightning. Great job, Craig. Did you see him in the tunnel bringing it out?
Oh, yeah.
He says, you can't go wrong with the Barbie barn. Schwartz's Deli, too. I don't know. Call me crazy. We're going to work. Thought we were going to work.
Do you call this work?
No, that's a good point. That's a good point. But my man, Bobby Merrier, just so you know, he's got our weekend mapped out. He's taken upon himself to book guests for us for the live shows Thursday, Friday from Montreal, and then he wants to take us to Joe Beef. So can you pick a night to go to Joe Beef with us?
Oh, my, really?
Yeah.
So it's funny. I used to watch this show, and Anthony Bourdain did a show, toured around, and he did one for Montreal. And Joe Beef was actually one of the spots on Anthony Bourdain's list of places to go.
How about that?
And the 2 times I've been there, I've never actually made it to Joe Beef.
How about
that? So it's funny you brought that up. I'm really excited to check it out. So that'll be on my hit list. I'm getting more excited.
Well, and I want to go to the Cue de Cheval. If I can I pick somewhere?
You put a list. I'll put a list. We'll do the whole thing because it's all got to hit the social.
The Cue de Cheval. French for the horse's tail, one of the greatest steakhouses I've ever been in.
We're gonna have to like strategically plan this schedule, like we're,
live shows Thursday, Friday. Yes, we're excited. Thank you, Game Plus, for coming up with the idea. So the sports update that I promised. Chris Middleton led the Milwaukee Bucks to a 113-102 victory over the Atlanta Hawks for a 2-1 lead in the NBA Eastern Conference Finals. Middleton tied his playoff career high with 38 points. He scored 20 in the fourth quarter alone. Trae Young had 35 points for Atlanta, but injured his ankle after stepping on an official's foot in the third quarter. Trae Young's supposed to have an MRI today. If somebody hears the results of the MRI for Trae Young, can you let us know? I'm sure he'll be fine. Here's one, Moose. The Portland Trailblazers have hired Chauncey Billups as their new head coach. He's a 5-time All-Star, played 17 years in the NBA. Served as an assistant with the Clippers for the past season. Big uproar today on Billups being hired because there's a domestic abuse charge in his past. Actually, a rape allegation, I think, from 1997. And then Jason Kidd's got hired by the Mavericks. He's got a past. Big debate on ESPN this morning whether those guys should be hired at all. And I don't know that they came to any kind of a conclusion or not, but I guess the point is, how long are people supposed to pay? You know?
Yeah, I know.
Kind of a societal thing. I'm not asking for an answer.
That's the idea of, paying your due, pay the fine, serve your time. You're right. Have they changed, right? That's the big question.
We are sprinkling in comments from the viewers as we go. Andrew Stute regarding the Queue de Cheval. He says, that is a great steakhouse. Oh, real good. I got the big tomahawk steak. You seen those, mothers?
Oh, yeah.
It's like the old 96er in the movie Great Outdoors. Like if you eat it all, you get a T-shirt.
We'll take you on have you ever done the Bixie bikes in Montreal?
No.
That'll be your tour de Rod. You're biking so we can eat those steaks at night.
Wayne Grollo says, so are you guys getting tickets to the Bell Center for the game? I don't know. We might get a media accreditation. I'm not sure. I don't care. I'll watch the game on television. You are kind of planning to go to the game.
That's a hard no.
We're not going to the
tickets are $6,000 a pop, so that's a hard no. Unless
it's only money, Darren.
And I'm pretty sure that's what I said. I'm like, hey, you only live once, and I don't think there's media in the building. It's all Zoom, right? And unless they open the arena to everybody, and they fill the arena, we probably won't be going to the game.
Jeff, the Stampeders fan, says, can you pick up something for me from my cousin Mark? That's a hard no.
How about that?
What do we look like, FedEx?
You buy us tickets to the game, we'll do whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true. It's only money, Darren. They're making more of it. Alex Campbell dazzled in his debut for the Fraser Valley Bandits, tallying 25 points on 57% shooting to lead his new team to a 92-74 win over the Saskatchewan Rattlers on Monday in CEBL action at the Abbotsford Centre. Alex Campbell, a former Rattler, was instrumental in Saskatchewan's title run in 2019, winning the NBA and CEBL Finals MVP. You were there. Where the hell was I? That I couldn't make it.
I was courtside doing the broadcast.
Yeah, but where was I?
I don't remember. Yeah, you didn't make it.
No, but I had something going on. Anyways, on Saturday night, he came off the bench for the Bandits and made an immediate impact. Alongside another former Rattler and Shaquille Keith, the two led the charge, erasing a 9-point deficit in the second quarter. Never looked back. The Bandits their bench outscored the Rattlers 43-16. Shaquille Keith is a load.
Oh.
Remember him?
Yeah,
he's a
Shaq
stud.
Keith is something.
He's a stud.
Oh, yeah. Big fan.
The Saskatchewan Rattlers will look for their first win when they host the Hamilton Honey Badgers tonight, 8:30 p.m. Eastern at SaskTel Center. You can watch on CBC Gem. I know I will be. And Twitch. Rattlers fans can return to the SaskTel Center on July 12th when Saskatchewan hosts the reigning CEBL champion Edmonton Stingers. Fraser Valley, by the way, will continue their season at home against the Niagara River Lions Tuesday night. The Canadiens take on the Tampa Bay Lightning tonight in Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final. As if you don't know, Montreal was the last Canadian team to win the Stanley Cup in '93. They're looking for their 25th cup. Can you believe that? This sports update for the Tap Brewhouse and Drive-Thru Liquor Store and for Red Bull Canada. Red Bull gives you wings. Viewer takeover next. Get your comments in now because next hour we got Dave Randorf and Courtney Stephen, the recently retired Ticat. So it's going to be busy. You're watching the RP Show on this Monday on Game Plus TV Network, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Stars, you're dispatched to a scene call. Patient has multiple traumatic injuries and is unconscious but breathing.
This is why I backed the Stars lottery.
Stars, we can accept the mission.
This is why I'm all in.
Mission accepted. Have a safe flight.
The prizes are great. The cause is critical.
Stars Lottery, the lottery on a mission. Every ticket is your chance to win over $4.2 million in prizes. Buy yours at starslottery.ca or 1-844-STARS-SK.
Capital is Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalgmc.ca to see how we roll and to learn what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's exactly what you'll get when you choose Capital GMC, Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Our parents always taught us about the importance of quality of work and friendly service. And here at Suds Car Wash, we're a family-run business, so it's really important that our customers feel like family.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
In today's fast-paced world, we know you don't always have time to cook a nutritious meal. The Mad Greek in Moose Jaw's got you covered with delicious takeout and delivery specials, even for large groups or occasions. Authentic Greek cuisine, pizza, ribs, and more. There's something for everyone to enjoy. Offering licensed dining, delivery, and their takeout window is open to get your Greek to go. For more information and to view the online menu, visit themadgreekeatery.com.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
Welcome back, everybody. Viewer takeover time on this Monday. Moose is with me, and I see that a lot of people want to talk about the old Canadian Football League, and I'm certainly down with that. There was some breaking news from the CFL today. I haven't opened my emails yet. Haven't really looked at Twitter, but I think the Argos have signed Ricky Collins Jr. and is that what I'm hearing?
Yep.
And Dexter McCoyle, two former Eskimos. And so let me call up these comments here from everybody. And I see the fans bickering back and forth, which I think is actually awesome.
It is awesome.
Ricky Collins retired, though, didn't he? Remember that?
He got released by Edmonton, became a free agent, and then he retired. And now he's coming out of retirement. Toronto wants to sign him.
From Nelson, he says, opening day CFL training camp poll question, who will be the most surprising cut from the Argos? With them adding Ricky Collins Jr. and Dexter McCoyle, There is too much talent and not enough spots. Forget about money. Jeff, the Stampeders fan, says, what the Argos are doing is past the point of ridiculous. Chris Bird in Toronto, Argos fan, says, wouldn't be ridiculous if the Stampeders were doing it, I'll bet. How about that?
How about that?
Man, I could sit here and read your comments all day, but it is our show. So sometimes I wondered, Aaron, if this thing's on. John Murphy, the Argos assistant general manager, New Orleans guy, great friend of mine. Man, he saw how Huff does things. I think he was there for 8 years in Calgary. He saw how Chris Jones does things. And I think he likes the way Chris Jones does things.
I know.
So that's literally buy everybody with credit card money. And then you return it to the returns department coming out of training camp. What the hell? The interest hasn't even hit your card yet.
Who doesn't buy something for a one-time use and return it?
Exactly.
I'm going camping one weekend of my entire life. Just buy the stuff, return it on Monday.
That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing in Toronto. Listen, you don't want to take my word for it for whatever reason. So take Naylor's word when he came on here. He said the exact same thing. So all these players sign in Toronto because they don't think they'll be the one that gets cut coming out of training camp, right? They all have so much confidence in themselves. Oh, they'll never cut me.
That's right.
And then they get cut.
Bet on yourself.
Well, history does repeat itself, and some of these guys will be right, some of them will be wrong. But coming out of what year was it? You guys will have to help me with this. 2017, Riders signed everybody. And who did they cut coming out of training camp? Oh, I don't know. Rob Bagg, Bakari Grant, Chad Owens, Travis Bond, who was one of the biggest free agent offensive linemen going into free agency the Riders signed. He didn't even make it to training camp. They cut him ahead of time. I fully believe this is what the Toronto Argonauts are doing. And they haven't told me that. But doesn't it look that way? Does it not?
It does. It does. But if there's a year to do it, this is the year to do it. Because you really are coming to camp with no clue. Like Ryan Dinwiddie, you're doing your homework as much as you can, but you really have no idea what you're going to get. So you bring these guys to camp, and you don't know who's in shape, who's not, whose mind is there, whose mind isn't, because we've talked to players like they are flipping their entire lives upside down to make this happen. Getting everything done, going to quarantine, not bringing family in, all these things that they're trying to get sorted. Some guys will be checked out when they come to camp.
Oh, yeah.
So you got to figure out who's checked in, who's checked out, who's in shape, who's not, what combination. So, you come with the expectation that a certain percentage of them are going to get cut. I think Toronto's just, it's an insurance policy.
Whatever you want to call it. Nelson says the Argos are the CFL's version of Costco shoppers. Return at any time. Hey, Murph, do you have where is it?
You got the Costco card in there?
Yeah, I have the special one.
Is it gold?
It is the executive member.
Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun. That Murph must have this. For $60 extra, you get, I think, 4 cents per dollar back. And the lady that sold it said to me, she says, oh, no. This is the best buy. So clearly Murph is a Costco member. He's doing a lot of Costco shopping. Returns, very easy returns there.
Very.
Right?
Oh, yeah. They don't ask any questions.
Not at all.
We'll take it. Here's your money back.
You didn't like Ricky Collins?
This box feels empty. This box feels empty.
Realized I couldn't afford him.
Yeah.
You didn't like Charleston Hughes? Was he defective? No, he's fine.
He's fine.
Just couldn't afford him.
Just didn't need him.
Turns out I had another.
That's a good one.
From Jim Perry, our sales manager in Calgary. Nice. This is news to me. #LeRP Show. We're going to Montreal Thursday, Friday. Live shows before Game 3 of the Stanley Cup. Next hour, Courtney Stephen and Dave Randorf. Stick around at Game Plus.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at Flame Tech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say, and I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved.
Defensive back, but he announced his retirement last week, and I'm interested to hear why. He's a very bright guy, getting on with life after football. But not everybody is. Big news today out of Toronto. The Argos have signed Dexter McCoyle and Ricky Collins Jr. Ricky, a really good friend of ours, coming out of retirement to play in the CFL. And I just can't get enough, eh? Hey, which is great. You can do whatever you're doing, Ricky, for the rest of your life. But the fans of all the other teams are saying, how are the Argos affording these guys? I've been trying to tell you that they're not. They'll cut a lot of them coming out of training camp, but people just don't want to listen. So can I have another one of those told you so moments when it happens? Can we do that?
Sure.
Yeah,
we can.
And then we got big news here that we are going to Montreal. Game Plus Television and the Rod Pedersen Show teaming up. We're going to Montreal. Live shows this week, Thursday, Friday from downtown Montreal. And my very close friend, Bobby Merrier, sober coach to the Stars. He's taking on the role of co-producer with Clark is what he's doing. And he's lining up some Habs great guests to join us. And Darren said we got to get some Habs gear to wear on the air. And I said, absolutely not. We're going to be at least somewhat impartial going there to do this show between Tampa Bay and Montreal, but we should probably show the folks the shirts that we're selling now.
Yeah. If the guys can grab a screenshot of this, I need something for my Instagram. But anyways,
there you go.
These are available. RodPedersenShop.com.
We the North.
Yeah, We the North. So we got these up. No trademark on this, if you can believe that. RodPedersenShop.com. Although I think we put in our trademark application, so maybe it will be ours.
Yeah, so I we'll talk about this later. Packing has become a major. I'm riddled with anxiety over what to take to Montreal.
I know, right?
And what else? There's that. We're going to the Stanley Cup. The Argo sign on those guys. Is that about it?
Yeah, what do I tell you? You wear what you wear. Just
be yourself.
What would you wear in Montreal? Like, it's all good. You got lots of RP Show golf shirts.
Yes, anything goes. Okay. So, that's what I was going to say. Tonight, if you want, my very close friend, Jared Dumba, our 10-year pro hockey player, our hockey analyst, he and I will be at the Four Seasons tonight watching Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final. So it's sort of an unofficial watch party. If you want to come down and join us, you're more than welcome. That's kind of how we roll here, eh? At the Four Seasons Sports Palace, your home for the Stanley Cup playoffs, the Seattle Kraken Fan Club, and proud sponsors of the second half kickoff here on the RP Show. So let's, can we get Courtney Stephen on our screen? There he is sitting. There he is. Ray's on the roof out there. And hey, Courtney, how's retirement, my friend?
Hey, you know what? It feels a lot like being in the pandemic.
Yeah, you've been retired for a year and a half, I guess, right? No, but listen, at least you can smile about it, because we had Chad Jeter on here last week talking about joining the United States Air Force, and it was like he was eating glass, man. This was not an easy decision for him at all to walk away from pro ball. What's it been like for you?
Well, you know what, man? I can empathize with that, because you give so much of your life, you sacrifice for years just for an opportunity, right? And nobody promises you that you'll actually make it, right? Like, there's no guarantees that you'll actually ever put on pads and a helmet in the pros. So to get there alone takes a lot. And then to be in that seat and try and hold on to it for as long as you can and then let go, I mean, that takes a certain amount of courage, if you will, right? Because this is what we know. I played pro football 8 years, but I played football for 23. And I'm 31 years old, so that's a substantial part of my life. But for me, it was one of those things where I never cut a corner, right? I never tapped out. I never, did less than was required of me. If anything, I did my absolute best. And I feel like when you give everything you have to offer, there's no regrets. So when it comes time, and right now it's the time for me. I feel good about it, because what else are you supposed to do, man? This is what the coaches tell you every day is like, empty your tank. And if you empty your tank, you'll have no regrets. Whatever score is on the board, you can live with it. So for me, it's a proud moment more than anything. I'm not sad. Of course, I'm going to miss the locker room, but, the time is right.
We know very well put, by the way. You've had, obviously, great coaches in Hamilton. You sound like my dad, 26 years in the National Hockey League for him. And he said, empty your tank every single day, because when the day's up and you look back at your career, you'll have no regrets. And it sounds to me, Courtney, like you have no regrets. But you mentioned all your years in the CFL. Tell me your contract status, please. Because 7 years in Hamilton and then 2019 in Calgary. But the Ticats announced your retirement. So had you signed back with them, or were they just doing it because you're once a Ticat, always a Ticat?
No, I signed in December. So when I came back I was on a 1-year contract in Calgary. So when that contract expired at free agency, I signed with Hamilton with all intent to play in 2020. And as we know, that season never came to fruition. So it gave a lot of pause for everybody to look at the rest of their life. And during that time, I was still training, staying in shape, still fully focused on being a pro athlete. But at that time, you can't be a pro athlete. Like, you're a dad, you're a husband, you're a brother, you're a son, you're all those other things. And football it has to be secondary because there's no football going on. So I signed a contract in December with intent to play. And from that time till now, it's not a decision that you make overnight to retire. Like, it's something that happens slowly. And especially with so much turmoil in the league. I mean, I don't know how there's turbulence. How else can you describe it? Like, we're merging with the XFL. Is the season going to happen? These teams have to vote. These players have to vote. Who's getting paid? Are we getting paid? Like, all this stuff going on. How could you not, as a father of 2 kids, how could you not for another job? How could you not think about an alternative? Because I'm the one who's going to be left holding the bag with, like $3,000 worth of daycare every month to pay for if I don't do something responsible. So yeah, I was intent on playing this season. I was training, waking up 4:30 like everybody else, going and work out before the kids were up. But in my, I guess, contingency plan, some really great opportunities came about. And I don't know if I'm necessarily ready to speak on them here, but the risk and the reward for playing football is not really there for me right now. Like you can tear your ACL, and if somebody's got COVID, they're going to the hospital before you, and you got to just wait it out. And rightfully so. But contracts we talk about, right? Like there was a point in my career where I was making a good amount of money, and right now I'm closer to the end than I am to the beginning. So that's not the same situation. So I have to look in the mirror and say, do I want to put my noodle on the line? I don't think so, because I'm confident that I could make more money outside of football than I can playing football.
You're speaking for a lot of the guys that have made this decision over the last couple of weeks, because that's what I keep hearing. But you know what? When you know, when it's time to go, it's time to go. But, I mean, you noticed the other day that I was following you on Twitter, I noticed that you had put on a financial literacy course, or were planning one in Toronto here in the pandemic. How did that go? As soon as I saw that, I'm like, he's going to be just fine. So tell me what made you want to do that.
The pandemic illuminated a lot of things. I think it's Warren Buffett who has a quote that says, when the tide goes out, you can see who's swimming with no clothes on. And there's a whole bunch of people who I guess were, I don't want to say exposed in a negative way, because nobody puts himself into a tough financial situation on purpose, right? It's just these things that we weren't taught. So myself, I felt somewhat privileged, and I had a responsibility to share my passion, which is football on one hand, but also I have a passion for financial literacy, investing, and generational wealth. So I put together a course, and I shopped it around to some local high schools and some universities. And I ended up, just teaching basic financial literacy to a handful of different groups. And it was very well received because there's a need for it. And there's certain things that we all are going to do: buy a car, buy a house, use a credit card. But no one is teaching us how to do them on a fundamental level. So that's really what the course was about. And, I'm going to continue to do that, because whether that's a career or not, I don't think it is. It's something that is a passion of mine, and there's a need for it in the community, and there's nobody better to fill the role than me.
I was watching, Courtney, and you didn't even know who I was. So good for you for doing that. And so all these years with the Ticats, some really good years. What comes to mind when you think of them? What comes to the mind first?
Man, I think about being in training camp in my rookie year, and just going so hard in practice that I actually sprained my shoulder before we even played a preseason game. And just some of the older guys being like, hey, look, if you want to play 10 years in this league, tone it down a bit. Like, relax, okay? And that was kind of just a point where I was just so hungry and so ready to attack this thing that I've been waiting all my life for. But I found that fine line between pushing it and actually, doing my teammates a favor and not putting anybody's health at risk. Because when you just get in the league, like, you just want to go, go, go. And to me, it was the beginning of that transition from just being a player to being a pro, right? And I had a lot of great coaches, especially in Hamilton. I had a lot of great coaches who really taught the game, who really helped me develop as a player, as a person. And I think that's really what I'm going to remember. It's those relationships, people like Jeff Reinbold, right? People like Philip Lawley, people like Coach O, people who, took the time to teach you little things that made a big difference. And I think that's what any player would say is the people that really make the experience, whether it's the fans, the coaches, the other guys in the locker room. It's all about the relationships.
Forgot Lawley was in Hamilton. What a beauty that guy is. Well, and Reinbold, obviously. But please do me a favor and tell me what you remember about the 2013 Grey Cup, because I was calling Rider games at that time, and I heard when you guys stepped off the plane Grey Cup weekend, it was minus 68. You guys were like, we want to go home. What do you remember about that? Yeah, what do you remember about that?
I literally remember coming out of the airport and it's like you have to turn the corner and walk to where the bus was, and it might have been 20 yards, and the frosty air just hits you in the face. Boom! It's something different. It is like that is the Canada that people talk about when they talk about Canada. It was an experience. I remember 2 guys got frostbite on their fingers so bad they couldn't play in the game during practice. Oh man, it was crazy, but it was an experience, because that's CFL football. Like the Rider fans, you got to have so much respect for them because they came out in droves, and walking to the stadium or walking away from the stadium after the game, it was like a college town in like the deep south of the United States. Like every single person was draped out in green, and it was one of those things where it's like, even though we were on the wrong side of that game, it was kind of memorable because you were a part of a moment where like a team played a championship game at home and you felt that energy. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I know. And well, I had a lot of good friends on your team. And I remember Fantu saying afterwards, if we had to lose, I'm glad it was to these guys. And I think Tillman had a similar thought. Kanji was on that team, and obviously Hank. That was a special team. I think it was going to be Saskatchewan's day that day. Courtney, well, I hope that you stick close to the CFL because you got a lot to offer. Do you have plans on doing that?
As much as I can, I would love to, because I told this to a few people within the organization, but in high school, I played 4 years as a Turner Fenton Trojan. In college, I went to Wilfrid Laurier for 2 years. I transferred. I went to Northern Illinois. I was a Husky for 3 years. But I was a Ticat for 6. So really, this is my team. And, the fans, the community, those little kids who come ask you for an autograph or a picture, those are the ones who really make you what you are. They're the ones who put you up there and hold you in that regard. So to be able to pay it forward or pay it back, however you see it, that's a great opportunity. It's a privilege. So for a community that's given me so much, I'd love to stay tapped in, and I live nearby, so it's not like I'm going to be going anywhere. So they're going to have to really do their best to get rid of me if they don't want to see me anymore.
Yeah, well, they won't. Courtney, it's been a pleasure to meet you virtually, and congrats on a fine career, and I wish you all the best moving ahead.
Thank you very much. It's been fun.
CFL veteran Courtney Stephen joining us from the GTA. Well, it's going to be interesting when we come back because Dave Randorf loves him some CFL, but he's also the TV voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning, and Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final tonight is in Tampa. Rambo joins us next. This has been a second half kickoff for the Four Seasons Sports Palace, your home for the Stanley Cup playoffs and the Seattle Kraken fan club. You're watching on the Game Plus television network across all 10 provinces and 31 states, live daily on YouTube and Facebook, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed. Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Ultimate Fan Zone. Shop online. UltimateFanZone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel, offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away. UltimateFanZone.ca. Or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFC Downtown Moose Jaw. Home of everything authentic.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions is Saskatchewan's only full-service supply chain company. Strategic sourcing, PO creation, and order expediting, VMI and vending solutions, and free delivery are just a few of the supply chain services we provide. If your company needs it, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions can get it for you. Price, quality, service, Rockstar Supply Chain Solution is helping Saskatchewan companies buy better.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Laid back and kicking it, let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
All right, right on time. Welcome back, everybody. The RP Show continues. I'll get to your comments in a moment. There are a few here. A lot of people saying to Courtney Stephen, Courtney, you've made Brampton proud. That from Chris in Toronto. Ryland Spencer's watching in Seattle. He says, I love this guy. Yeah, Courtney Stephen announcing his retirement after 7 years in the CFL. He was just with us. That guy's going to be a success at whatever he does. And Todd Pinkney, one of our P1, says, great to see God's team. Regular season schedule announced. He's talking about the Regina Pats Hockey Club, God's team. He says, can't wait for the WHL season and being back at the Dome. You and me both, Pinks. Okay, let's go to Tampa now. Champa. Dave Randorf joins us, the voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning, on a very busy day, I'm sure, for him. How you doing, David?
I'm doing great. I got time always for this show, so no problem about that. I was at morning skates and hustled back to be on with you. It's the place is buzzing around here, Rod. Everybody's pretty excited about Game 1.
I can't imagine. Actually, the last time you were with us, I think you were in a hotel. Are you moved out of the hotel?
I am out of the hotel. I'm in a temporary. I'm renting this residence here. It's a guest house of a friend that I've made down here. So I'm finally going to move in. Next time, maybe you'll actually see what my own house, which I took possession of last week. So slowly but surely, I'm getting there.
Okay. Well, listen, Dave, you know how we like to have fun here. And before I get to the actual hockey questions, I asked Clark to pull a photo from your Twitter. So, Clark, can you put that up? Boy. And I want Rambo to explain. How beautiful is that, Dave? When we talk about Champa, can you talk about that photo right there?
Yeah, it was a cool event. MC this, and they had the mayors from Clearwater and St. Petersburg all there with those 4 trophies. And they called it Champions Day. This was back in, I want to say February, I think. And that is Ballast Point, which is in South Tampa, looking back towards downtown. It was a gorgeous morning. And you had the Super Bowl, you had the Vince Lombardi Trophy, you had the Stanley Cup, obviously. You've got the American League Championship Trophy there. And the one that's off to the side, I think on the far right, that was I believe the East Division Championship Trophy for the soccer league that the Tampa Bay Rowdies play in. So when I got here, and everybody was talking about how great it is to be a sports base and Lightning. They said, oh, don't forget about the Rowdies. So the Rowdies made it to the final last year. They've been around for decades. So that was their GM was there as well. And so the sports fans are living large here right now, for sure.
Well, it's a great time to be there for sure, Dave. Now, here's another one for you. I was listening to NHL radio last week, and you were on. and it was ahead of Game 6 in New York. And you said, it looks like the Lightning are going to the Stanley Cup Final. I'm like, Dave, you haven't got that fourth win yet. Were you getting a little nervous Friday night?
Hold on. What did I? Hang on. That doesn't sound like something I would say. What did I say exactly, Rod?
Listen, I could go back and pull it. One, you said consistency is a skill. Do you remember saying that? And then another one.
I was talking about Braden Point there.
That's right. You were, which is on our desk right here. Braden Point every day, Warrior uniform. And then the other one was, I think you said, it looks like the Lightning are going.
Now you think I said.
I'm pretty sure.
Now it's 30 seconds. Dave, you said. I think you said.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. So were you getting nervous?
Honestly, I was totally nervous. You know what I will say? It's so fun to care who wins now. Listen, I don't hide from it anymore. I don't work for Hockey Night in Canada anymore. I work for the Tampa Bay Lightning, and it's fun to care who wins and to have that nervous, jittery feeling and the butterflies in the stomach for a Game 7. It was a tremendous game. Two very good teams went at it, and so I've missed that feeling because for years, I'm very proud of my years in Canada and at TSN and Sportsnet and Hockey Night. But there, you don't care who wins. You just want to have a good game and a good show, and you get on the plane the next day and you leave. Here, it's a little different. So it was a lot of fun. And was I nervous? And did I have butterflies? Yeah, I did. And I loved it because we all get in this business because we were sports fans at the start. And then somewhere along the way, you lose that because, that's how the business works. But I've got it back, and I'm loving it. Fun.
Well, I can tell. I can tell that they love you, too, especially hosting those watch parties and so forth. But I had a friend in Florida say to me that the Lightning play a boring style. And I never really thought about it before. And then after I heard that, I can't unsee it. Would you go along with that or not?
Well, your friend probably has been down here for a while and got used to the Lightning being that run and gun team that could light you up and score 6, 7, 8 goals. I mean, the year that they won 62 wins, they were lighting teams up. They've been the highest scoring team in the league up until this year. I want to say 4 years in a row. So they've obviously got a lot of offensibility, and maybe your friend is rightfully that opinion on how they used to be. But the Lightning made an adjustment a couple of years ago when they got swept by the Columbus Blue Jackets, unceremoniously swept, right on the heels of that 62-win season. And they learned some lessons, and they looked at themselves in the mirror and decided we can't just be that running gun team. We got to learn to play different ways. We have to play defensively. We have to play in tight games, like the Game 7 1-0 win where their only goal was a shorthander. So they do not win the Stanley Cup last year without molding their game and learning to play a different way. And they're not in this position right now without being able to do that again in the final against a very disciplined and tight Montreal Canadiens team. So I think that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, has this been kicked around, Rambo, that you're going against an entire country in the Stanley Cup Final? Because it's kind of starting to feel that way up here.
As it should. I mean, they're the winners of the North Division. I get that. And the Canadian fans or people who moved down here certainly get that. Does that resonate with the fan base down here? Probably not. They just think that it's a quality opponent. I don't think anybody's taking the Montreal Canadiens lightly. As relevant to the Florida State fan here. It might, as the season goes on, and maybe as they see what's going on outside the Bell Center and maybe all the coverage surrounding it, if NBC does tell very well, I know they will on Sportsnet for sure and on Hockey Night, but I certainly get it and respect it. I think it's great. There's a lot of ties between the Montreal Canadiens and the Tampa Bay Lightning, and they're a storied franchise, and they're a great story, and they own it.
Yeah, well, it's funny because last series, because I watch SportsCenter every morning, and your former network, while I'm working out, it was all Habs, Golden Knights, Habs, Golden Knights, and I loved it, but there was no talk of your series, at all. And I just thought it was funny because it's the Montreal Canadiens, and I just feel like there's people that, other than those that hate the Habs, as you know, Dave, there's a lot of those, but basically they become Canada's team. It's unfortunate, I guess, that you won't be in the booth and traveling for this because this is going to get wild. Don't you feel it?
Oh, yeah. No, I definitely feel it. I felt it at the rink today. There was a few more media members, obviously, around, not as many as you normally would have. at a Stanley Cup Final due to COVID restrictions and not being able to travel. But what you just said is kind of what I was saying on the reverse. I get how, TSN and Sportsnet would probably focus on, I mean, God forbid if the Leafs had made it this far, there would be like no other discussion about anybody else. It would just be about the Leafs. So I get how the focus has been about the North, the Canadian-based team. It's too bad because the Eastern Conference Final was a hell of a series. It was two very good teams. One game got out of hand, and the Lightning won Game 5, 8-0. But it was a one-off, an anomaly. The rest of the series was fantastic, hard, intense, two great goaltending performances, and the Lightning punched their ticket again and did something that not a lot of teams have done since 2000. They're just the fourth team as the defending Cup champ to make it back to the finals. So they're a good story, and they all know this team is going to change. It's going to look different due to cap reasons and expansion draft reasons. There's going to be some movement, and they all know their time is now. So maybe there'll be a little bit more balanced storytelling in the coverage going forward. But it's going to be a great series. It's both teams have earned their way in, and I don't see it being a short series at all.
Brady in Saskatoon says, go Habs, go. Janelle in Saskatoon says, hi, I hate the Habs. Todd in Regina says, finally found a Price jersey in Edmonton. How about that? Daryl in, I think, Swift Current says, go Tampa Bay. Been cheering for them since they joined the league. John in Winnipeg says, hate is a four-letter word. No, I know hate is very strong, but a lot of people do hate the Habs. Let's be honest about it. Dave, Keys, what do you think? What do you think will win it for your Lightning?
Or other team. Keys for the Lightning or keys for the champion?
Well, you obviously think the Lightning are going to win. So what's going to win it for them?
Okay. Well, their depth, I think, serves them very well because it's no secret by now. The Montreal Canadiens and that Philip Deneau line have shut down and frustrated all the Stars on all the opponents that they have faced in each of the three rounds to this point. We all know that, and it's been very, very impressive. So that means Deneau's line is going to go up against Kucherov in point, and they're going to have to find a way around that, which is going to be difficult. So now you start looking at the rest of the lineup, and you wonder if there's offense there. The answer is yes, right down to their fourth line. They've got Tyler Johnson on the fourth line, a guy who is certainly can score. He's at a different stage of his career, but he is skating very well. And there's a rookie on that line by the name of Ross Colton you may not know a lot about, but he's been a heck of a find. Fourth round pick. He can score, and that line with Pat Maroon has been effective. The third line can score with Yanni Gourde, Goodrow, Coleman. And then, of course, there's the second line with Cirelli, Stamkos, and Alex Killorn has been excellent. He's got 8 goals, and he's been very, very good night in, night out. So they could use a little bit more goals from their defense. They only have 3. Luke Schenn, Jan Ruda, and 1 from Hedman, so they could use more there. The goaltending, I think, is going to be a wash. I don't think either one of these goaltenders are going to lose games. They're both going to be very good because they are. Special teams are going to play a key, and this is a very, very interesting matchup because the Lightning had a power play that was clicking at about 40% going into the last round, a little quieter against the Islanders, and now you're going up against this Habs PK, which has been unbelievable. They have not allowed a power play goal since round 1. I mean, they went 8 for 8 against the Jets, 15 for 15 against the Vegas Golden Knights. So finding a way to solve that is going to be a huge key for the Lightning.
I think that you are bang on all of it, and I think the goaltending is a wash. They're not going to make a flub like my boy, the Flower, last round. Ashi Minhas is watching on YouTube, and she says, great to see you, Dave. Go Habs. Go all day. So she's happy to see you, not cheering for your team. Rambo, you're the best. And are you talking to your CFL peeps at all? I saw you were on a show here last week in Canada, and we're talking about the CFL.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I can't wait. Honestly, I am really looking forward to. By the time the season kicks off, I'm going home once the playoffs wrap up here. I'll go back to Toronto, back up my house, and then I'll be back down here. And I can't wait to have a Friday night football viewing party in my backyard with my barbecue. And trust me, that's going to happen. And I keep touch with a lot of my CFL on TSN brethren. In fact, one of their former directors is a house guest of mine right now. So the guy who directed many Grey Cups, Paul Hemming. So he flew down for games 1 and 2. So we can't wait to see them kick things off. And I was glad to hear the premier in Saskatchewan saying he can't wait to see a full house when the Riders kick things off.
He did, 33,000. Hey, please say hey to Paul for me. And can I just, before you go, what was it like interviewing Tom Hanks? I still have that on PVR. I think everybody in Saskatchewan still has it on PVR. That would be a pretty big moment for me. What was it like for you?
Well,
you said that was a selfie story, right? You told that story. You went to
I think I told that selfie story. Yeah, the selfie gone wrong. I didn't actually get to interview Tom Hanks. That was Brian Williams. I was sitting in the seat where Brian Williams had to be, and I had to get out of the seat. So I tried to take a selfie with Tom Hanks as I'm like, arm in arm with him. And my phone, I was fumbling with my phone, and I had this awkward, arm in arm grip with one of the biggest, most famous people on the face of the earth. And he finally looks at me and goes, we're like face to face with Tom Hanks. And he finally goes, let's do this later. I said, okay, let's do it. It was so bad. It was my embarrassing moments. Yes.
We all have those, but what was it like being around him? That had to be cool.
It was so cool, and it was in Regina at that Grey Cup. And what I noticed about it, and what I'll always remember about it, is I've been around, moments where some celebrity walks in the room to do an appearance on whatever show that we're doing, and they walk in with handlers. There's people around, and don't talk to him, and he's only here for 2 minutes, and he or she, and this person may not have a fraction of the star power that Tom Hanks does. Tom Hanks rolls into our set, just him and Marty Short. They're having a good time. They're high-fiving everybody. He's glad-handing with the fans who are right behind me, and he's just enjoying it, and he's not big-timing anybody. And right up until the point when he walked, he said goodbye to everybody. That's what I remember about that moment. He was an awesome guy.
Well, I had a moment like that with you, 2013 Grey Cup, interviewing you at the coaches' news conference. I dropped my tape recorder on the ground. I'm like, no! I don't know if you remember that or not. But anyways.
I do, but I'm not nearly as famous as Tom Hanks. So no big deal.
I don't know, man. Hey, again, thanks for the time, Rambo. Good luck. Enjoy the series. And for you guys' sake, I hope you win it.
Hey, for your sake, I'm glad the football is back on. I know it's important, and I'm going to be watching down here. And thanks for having me on. Nice to see everybody.
Rambo. The great Dave Randorf joining us, the television voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning. He takes the broadcast to here. I'm telling you, watch him all the time, and he fits right in. We'll be right back with a sports update. Viewer takeover. Moose will be back in here. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Stars, you're dispatched to a scene call. The patient has multiple traumatic injuries and is unconscious but breathing.
This is why I back the Stars lottery.
Stars, we can accept the mission.
This is why I'm all in.
Mission accepted. Have a safe flight.
The prizes are great. The cause is critical.
Stars Lottery, the lottery on a mission. Every ticket is your chance to win over $4.2 million in prizes. Buy yours at starslottery.ca or 1-844-STARS-SK.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
At Capital GMC, we don't just sell vehicles, we buy them too. You know how we always have such a big inventory with an amazing selection? That's because we buy all makes, all models, and all years. We're going to give you the best price every time. And you don't even have to buy from us. All you have to do is visit us online or in-store, answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll get you a great offer. We'll even cut you a check on the same day. So save yourself the hassles of selling privately and sell it to us. Because at Capital GMC, we'll buy it.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Oh, yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
I'm still looking at the big screen.
I know, and it's off.
And we're not on the big screen.
We're not on yet. I've given it a couple looks and thought, wait, we're off the air. And you panic for a second, but
it's a real hazard to tweet and talk on the air at the same time.
You seem to do pretty good at it.
The Canadiens take on the Tampa Bay Lightning in Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final tonight in Tampa Bay. Montreal, the last Canadian team to win the Stanley Cup back in 1993. The Bolts will represent Montreal's toughest test in their quest for the 25th Stanley Cup. For them, no doubt, 6 p.m. Mountain on the CBC. Early goals by Moses Dwyer and Austin Ricci gave Valor FC a 2-0 victory over defending Canadian Premier League champs Forge FC at Winnipeg's IG Field Sunday in the first game of the season for both teams. Fans were not allowed inside Winnipeg's IG Field, where Valor and the CFL's Blue Bombers play home games, but several of them gathered outside to cheer on the club at a distance. All 8 CPL teams are playing at IG Field for the first part of the season, a 29-day single-city stretch being dubbed the Kickoff. Later on Sunday, Cavalry FC, that's Calgary, held on for a 2-1 victory over York United. The Phoenix Suns could wrap up their Western Conference Final with the Clippers at home tonight. The Suns lead the series 3-1. One win away from the NBA Finals for the first time since 1993. Kawhi Leonard going to miss his 7th straight game with a sprained knee. And the top 2 teams in the National League Central open a pivotal 3-game series today. The division-leading Milwaukee Brewers host the second-place Chicago Cubs. Kyle Hendricks pitches for Chicago, while Freddie Peralta gets the ball for Milwaukee. Faletti. It's an off day for the Toronto Blue Jays. This sports update for dubnetwork.ca, your number one source for Western Hockey League breaking news and analysis with the best team of writers across Western Canada and the Pacific Northwest. Visit today, dubnetwork.ca. And for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars, RP Show viewers get 20% off with the promo code RP Show. Order yours now at g2gbars.ca. I've already had my one for the day, Moose.
You have, eh?
My almond coconut, and it was just so darn good.
How about that?
The squirrel didn't take it?
You like that, eh? I was telling somebody the other day, my mornings are spent watching the squirrels run around my yard and the crows trying to scavenge them.
Yeah.
And that squirrel was surviving today. It's on my Instagram story. Go have a look. Rod Pedersen Official. What have you been doing, Moose?
Just working in business. A lot of people excited that we're going to Montreal.
Yeah.
You know, we got to work on that itinerary. We got a few things to deal with, the ducks in order and stuff like that. But just getting excited around it for sure and planning everything out. So,
well, if you just joined us, Thursday, Friday, we will be live from Montreal, and this all came together fast. That's usually how good things work.
Yeah.
How about that?
And Rick Regan's very excited, obviously. And as you said this morning, holy smokes, tomorrow's Tuesday, and Wednesday we're on a plane to Montreal.
That's right.
Silver Fox is going to be in this chair hosting shows. It's going to be a big hockey day on Wednesday when he hosts the show. But I'm not going to say any more about our Montreal shows other than we're going to have some Montreal Canadiens greats joining us right on the set. If you've been watching this show for a couple of years, you know that we go on the road to Houston. We did the sports trip there. We had NFL greats. We had CFL greats. We had coaches there. Our tailgate parties where we've done live shows, similar idea, right?
That's
Just
right.
rotating guests through, and we'll be talking about the Stanley Cup Final. And maybe a little bit of Alouettes, because whose idea was it? Clark's, that we should take the Manziel jersey down and take it?
It was Clark's idea. Maybe we do take that to Montreal. That would be
why
good.
not?
Put it on the set. We might as well. It doesn't take up much space in the suitcase to pack it, right? I mean,
wear it on the plane.
Do we go down that route? I mean, we're having these discussions on the air, but like, do we look at Danny Machocha? These guys are going to be in quarantine, though.
Ryland Spencer, watching in Seattle. He says, first stop once the border opens, Seattle. Seattle's amazing. It is amazing. The Emerald City. And now, even more reason to go to Seattle. I mean, that downtown area is just absolutely beautiful. Pike Place Market kind of stinks like fish.
I know, but I love it.
Right. But there's just some wonderful, isn't like a Ralph Lauren headquarters there, I think, and down with all the flags out front.
Yeah.
I love Seattle. And there's reasons to go there year round. It's just so beautiful. But
tell you this,
we kind of like to have NHL hockey when we're going somewhere.
I know, but I'll tell you this, we're taking our show to Montreal. Why don't I just put him on what did Courtney Stephen say about his noodle on the line? Put his noodle on the line. Let's take our show to Seattle when they drop the puck.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't we?
Poll question today for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center. How many games will the Stanley Cup Final go? Your options are 4, 5, 6, or 7. How good are your eyes, Darren?
Not that good.
That's a small monitor we got over there. Okay.
I was gonna get up and go over there, but I'd have been huge right up against the camera.
65% of respondents on Facebook saying 6 games. 63% on Twitter saying 6 games. And I got Montreal in 6. I don't feel bad about it. My friends that are with the Lightning, they all won it last year. So guys, cool it. You got your ring. I've gone on record as said, God's involved. I've seen no indication that he's not on Montreal's side.
Oh, yeah.
So let's just go with it. Finish it off. Get Carey Price's Stanley Cup. Get those Montreal Canadiens fans that I was banging on in the Vegas series. They're not bad people. They're some of my closest friends. Just highly annoying at times. But I feel like they've gotten over their annoyingness.
Yes.
Have you noticed that?
Yes, I have. You know, it feels like when they won that series that they flipped.
Something happened.
They flipped. Now they're feeling humble and grateful. And I'm like, where did this come from?
And
this is
very
amazing.
emotional.
And very emotional, which I'm here for. I mean, I'm here for that. That's great.
Yeah. Well, my guy, Bobby Merrier, I've said it a million times, sober coats to the Stars, splits his time between South Beach and Montreal. He's on it for us. He's planning our whole itinerary for Montreal this week. So get ready. Jeff Kozak here as we get into viewer takeover early. He says, welcome to the dark side, Rod. I was never anti-Montreal. Can I say it again? I sound like a skipping CD. I was never anti-Montreal. I was pro-Vegas. Janelle in Saskatoon says, you will not go to Seattle without me. Just a heads up. Chris Bird in Toronto says, meh, Habs fans are annoying all the time. Well, you would expect somebody from Montreal to say that.
From Toronto.
Or Toronto to say that. Yeah. Listen, load them up. Questions, comments, whatever you want to talk about. There's CFL news today. Lots to get at when we come back for overtime. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV Network, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
At Capital Ford Lincoln, we don't just sell vehicles, we buy them too. You know how we always have such a big inventory with an amazing selection? That's because we buy all makes, all models, and all years. We're going to give you the best price every time. And you don't even have to buy from us. All you have to do is visit us online or in store, answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll get you a great offer. We'll even cut you a check on the same day. So save yourself the hassles of selling privately and sell it to us. Because at Capital Ford Lincoln, we'll buy it.
Stars, you're dispatched to a scene call. Patient has multiple traumatic injuries and is unconscious but breathing.
This is why I backed the Stars lottery.
Stars, we can accept the mission.
This is why I'm all in.
Mission accepted. Have a safe flight.
The prizes are great. The cause is critical.
Stars Lottery, the lottery on a mission. Every ticket is your chance to win over $4.2 million in prizes. Buy yours at starslottery.ca or 1-844-STARS-SK.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Thank you very much, Rick Regan. And Moose DuPont and the whole crew here. So it's viewer takeover is what we call it. Ryan McCarthy, I appreciate you watching the entire program in Saratoga, New York. He says, wow, I see a lot of grumpy Gus's over the last hour. I know it's Monday, but sheesh. What are they grumpy about? Let us know, Ryan. I think it was that CFL discussion. And we got a face-off coming up here, and it's not going to pertain to the CFL. Courtney Stephen said it earlier this hour, the retiring Hamilton Tiger Cat. He said, listen, this is not a good time to be in the CFL. Are we merging? Are we not? Are we taking less money? Are we not? What? He said it, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of arguing there. I do like this idea. Rylan Spencer, watching in Seattle, says, how about a projection of a Riders win total? I see that one odds maker put out over under 5 for Edmonton. And I know you wouldn't be going for that. I wouldn't.
No.
I'm taking way the over on that.
Big time.
Over under on Riders. Wins. I'll put it at 10 and take the over.
Out of 14?
Out of 14 wins?
Out of 14 games?
Oh, wait. Right.
And taking the over?
No.
That's very ambitious.
I forgot. That's where my mind is on the CFL right now. 14 games. Let's go 8, and I'll take the over.
Yeah, not that I don't think they can do it, but I would say 7.5 is probably a good over-under. 8.5 for the Riders. I'd take the over on that, too. I think they're going to be really good.
This is not to face up.
No, we're
coming up on that.
But
this is weird.
I'd have to really dissect everybody's schedules, too.
Jeff Kozak says, I'm a true Habs fan, but I'm kind of sick of the 24 Stanley Cup thing. What does that mean? You're sick of only having 24? You've been sitting on 24 since 93, you poor son of a gun. I got you. He's just tired of only having 24 Stanley Cups. Well, la-dee-da.
Tired of just hanging to that. Eventually, that doesn't mean anything to me, who's never been alive for it, right? Like Leafs with 13?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Yes, they were all old, but it's like, it doesn't mean anything to me because it hasn't happened in my lifetime. So it's like, yeah, that was great, but I would trade that to be able to see a cup.
Speaking of cups, some Oilers fans actually think they're aggrieved.
I know.
Not a chance.
No.
Ryan in New York says, regarding what people are grumpy Gus's about, he says, not liking the Habs, bad CFL memories. I blame the heat. It's scorching in New York today, too. Oh, yeah. Because 6 months ago it's so cold.
I know.
I'm glad we're going off the air here.
Well, it's funny.
People drive me nuts.
Our friends in BC, I saw yesterday, 47 degrees Celsius.
Oh, yeah.
47. I went to Vegas once. It was 45. You could see the heat waves in the air, but it was dry. You didn't sweat.
Reminds me of Joe Exotic. You have no idea why, right?
I don't.
Tiger King.
But I love it.
Well, I mean, the greatest moment of the pandemic was that Netflix series. And they're like, oh, the Tigers aren't in danger here. How come you're wearing a gun on your hip? People.
How about that?
I can't. With Joe Exotic. People.
I miss that part of the pandemic.
Can we get the second season 2?
Give me something else and
go interview him in jail, for God's sakes. Dateline does. Let's see what Joe Exotic has to say. How come you got a gun on your hip then? People. Facing off. Where is it? Who wrote this? Is this Tacona Poly in Winnipeg? Free Joe Exotic. The greatest irony of all time. By the time he finally got famous, he's in the cooler.
I know, right?
How about that?
Oh my God.
The world is a funny place.
Irony.
Yeah.
Anywho, it's time to face off for the Mad Greek and Moose Jaw and the Ultimate Fan Zone. Now just a click away. Here's what it is. How much would you pay to watch your team in the Stanley Cup Final? One game, one ticket. What would you pay? And I'll say that you're the visitor. You can lay your stick down first.
Okay. One game. If I, you never know if it's going to be a deciding.
You don't know.
$2,500.
You shell out 25 Canadian or U.S. dollars?
Canadian. I'd pay $2,500. One time. Although, if it's my team, to be honest, I'd rather watch it alone, by myself, in my room, by myself, with nobody else around. That's where I'd rather watch. But I'd pay $2,500 to be in the building.
I would pay $2,500 U.S. Well, I'll say $3,000 U.S. to watch my Vegas Golden Knights in T-Mobile Arena in my own suite. Could I have any stipulations here?
Okay, I like that.
Right, with unlimited arena food.
Now, just to go to a game, period, like the Montreal, I'd pay $500.
Oh, I wouldn't if it wasn't your team.
I'd pay like $500.
No.
I'd pay that.
We're going to Montreal and don't have tickets, and I don't even care if I go to the game or not, okay? Because my brother, first thing out of his mouth, you going to the game? I literally have never even thought about it.
I'll buy us a lottery ticket. If we happen to win, we'll go to the game, and that's the only way.
Hey, the Face-Off's brought to you by the Mad Greek in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. The patio is now open for licensed dining at the Mad Greek. Visit them today. And brought to you by the Ultimate Fan Zone, now just a click away from our man cave to your man. McFly, hello.